Hi, I'm Mr. Traffic Rules and today we'll be analyzing road signs. This road sign warns drivers about an approaching sharp curve with a radius of less than 500 meters outside populated areas and less than 150 meters within towns or villages. Additionally, the sign indicates limited visibility on the curve, which may make it harder to spot other vehicles, pedestrians, or obstacles in time. Drivers are advised to reduce speed, stay alert, and, if necessary, apply early braking or shift gears to ensure a safe and controlled turn. This road sign warns drivers about an upcoming hazardous section of the road featuring two or more consecutive curves, closely following one another. The first turn is to the right, requiring drivers to stay particularly attentive and adjust their speed accordingly. The sign is placed in advance to provide sufficient reaction time, outside populated areas, at a distance of 150 to 300 meters before the winding section begins, within populated areas, at a distance of 50 to 100 meters from the first curve. This road sign warns drivers about a narrowing of the roadway from both sides, which may create challenges, particularly for large or wide vehicles. Such road sections can be hazardous, as the reduced lane width increases the risk of collisions or difficulties in passing oncoming traffic. The sign is placed in advance to allow drivers to prepare for the change in road conditions, outside populated areas, at a distance of 150 to 300 meters before the narrowing begins, within populated areas, at a distance of 50 to 100 meters from the narrowing section. This road sign warns drivers about a narrowing of the roadway on the right side, which may lead to traffic difficulties and increase the risk of hazardous situations. Such narrowing can be caused by roadwork, shoulder erosion, landslides, or other obstacles, forcing vehicles to move closer to the center of the road. To give drivers enough time to react, the sign is placed at a specific distance before the narrowing begins, outside populated areas, at a distance of 150 to 300 meters before the start of the narrowed section, within populated areas, at a distance of 50 to 100 meters from the narrowing. This road sign warns drivers about an upcoming hazardous section where the road surface may be unusually slippery, making vehicle control more difficult. The increased slipperiness can be caused by various factors, including natural conditions, rain, snow, ice, fog, fallen leaves or loose sand, artificial factors, spilled oil or fuel, scattered loose cargo, or poorly maintained road surfaces. To allow drivers enough time to react, the sign is placed at a safe distance before the slippery section, outside populated areas, 150 to 300 meters before the hazardous area, within populated areas, 50 to 100 meters from the start of the slippery section. When approaching such roads, drivers are strongly advised to reduce speed and avoid sudden maneuvers, increase following distance to prevent collisions, make all movements gradually to maintain vehicle stability and avoid skidding, pay extra attention to pedestrians and cyclists, as they may also be at risk on a slippery surface. This road sign is placed in advance of a hazardous section to ensure that drivers have sufficient time to react and adjust their speed accordingly. The placement distance depends on the type of area. Outside populated areas, the sign is positioned 150 to 300 meters before the danger zone, allowing drivers to gradually slow down, assess road conditions, and prepare for any potential challenges ahead. Within populated areas, the sign is placed 50 to 100 meters before the hazardous section, as lower speed limits and controlled traffic conditions typically provide drivers with more reaction time. The road sign is placed outside populated areas at a distance of 150 to 300 meters before the beginning of a hazardous section of the road. Within populated areas, the sign is installed at a shorter distance, ranging from 50 to 100 meters, before the potentially dangerous stretch, allowing drivers to react in advance and take necessary precautions for safe driving. This road sign warns drivers about an upcoming uncontrolled pedestrian crossing, which may be marked either by designated traffic signs or road markings. Its primary purpose is to alert drivers to the potential presence of pedestrians on the roadway, allowing them to reduce speed in advance and be prepared to stop if necessary. Outside populated areas, this sign is placed at a distance of 150 to 300 meters before the pedestrian crossing, providing drivers with ample time to react. Within urban areas, where speed limits are generally lower, the sign is positioned closer, between 50 and 100 meters before the start of the hazardous section, ensuring adequate visibility and sufficient time for drivers to take appropriate safety measures. This road sign is placed before a section of the road where there is a heightened risk of children unexpectedly entering the roadway. It is specifically used near areas directly adjacent to facilities such as kindergartens, schools, children's camps, health resorts, and other places where children frequently gather. Drivers should exercise extreme caution, reduce their speed, and remain alert for any sudden or unpredictable movements by children. To enhance road safety, the placement of this sign varies depending on the location. Outside populated areas, it is installed at a distance of 150 to 300 meters before the potentially hazardous section, allowing drivers enough time to slow down and stay vigilant. Within urban areas, where traffic density is higher and speed limits are generally lower, the sign is positioned between 50 and 100 meters before the section of the road adjacent to a children's facility. This approach ensures that drivers have adequate time to anticipate the presence of children and take the necessary precautions to prevent accidents. This road sign is placed before a section of the road where the geometry of the roadway does not fully comply with modern construction standards, potentially posing an increased risk to drivers. Such areas may include sharp turns, inconvenient slopes, steep inclines or descents, and locations with limited visibility due to inadequate vertical and horizontal curve radii. These road sections require drivers to exercise extra caution, reduce speed, and adjust their driving approach accordingly. The presence of this sign serves as an early warning, allowing motorists to anticipate potential hazards and adapt their driving behavior to ensure safety on the road.